Good morning. I'm here in the Colorado Rockies, currently at about 12,000 feet, making my way up to Handy's Peak, which is one of the 14,000 foot peaks. I'm out here on a 4-day peak bagging adventure with two of my friends, Scott Weisman, Pete Stoughton, and this is what I deal with, trying to do product reviews. So, breathing is a little tough out here at this elevation. But, I'm gonna try and knock out pieces of this product review as we go. I've spent the last month really testing out all of the different capabilities of this Insta360 ONE R, which is what I'm filming on right now. For those of you who have watched a lot of our product review videos, you know that we don't do one and done, and we definitely don't stand behind a camera in our basement and just talk about a product. You're always gonna get the reviews out here on the trail, seeing how it actually gets used. So I got a bunch of different points I want to talk today. I'm going to do some pretty heavy comparisons with the GoPro 8, which I also recently purchased and like. But there's some cool stuff about this Insta360 ONE R that I've just been geeking out over. For those of you who have been watching the trail and ultra videos for some time, you know I've spent the last couple of years shooting with a Rylo 360. And at the same time, I kept hearing really awesome things about the progression of Insta360, and specifically with the ONE R, because it's got this modular capability where you can swap between different mods. If you get the dual, it comes with this 4K wide angle mod that I'm shooting this video on right now. And then it also has the 360 mod, and you can switch them back and forth. With the 4K mod, you can have it facing forward like this. You can reverse it so that it's on the same side as the display. If you're a vlogger, it's just really cool. There's so much different capability that goes into it, and it's so fast and easy just to swap out. While I've liked shooting off and on with the GoPro Hero8, if you want to be able to shoot in 4K with the standard Hero8, but you also want to shoot in 360, you gotta buy a whole separate camera and get the max, and I'm not about to do that. It takes a $300 investment to a $700 investment, whereas with the Insta360 ONE R, you're in altogether about $450. So if it's kind of that complete package you're looking for, this is a great option to go with. We completed going to the summit of Handy's Peak behind me, way up there. That's 14,029 feet. And we're now coming back down and making our way back up to the pass. I thought what a great time to kind of jump back in, talk a little bit more about the Insta360 ONE R. One of the things that's really obvious about the new 360 model cameras is that with the in-app editing, you can edit onto a fixed point and it'll follow, and it just makes this hyper smooth video experience that you don't need a gimbal for. However, what I really want to kind of focus on is what's the comparison between Insta360 ONE R 4K mod and the GoPro Hero8. And I can tell you honestly, I don't really see a difference, which is a really good thing considering GoPro kind of touts themselves as the end-all leader in action cameras and stability and all of that, raving that even without any of the in-app experience, you still get this great constant flow. With the Insta360 ONE R 4K mod, it has a button to turn on and off flow state so that the software inside the camera levels it all out. It works phenomenal. You'll see clips on top of what I'm talking about right now and really get that experience. So I wouldn't say one's better than the other. They're both excellent. Let's just talk about battery life. With the Insta360 ONE R, because it's modular and you're pulling pieces off, it has this long battery on the bottom. I've been able to use this camera for runs up to like 7-8 hours, and I'm not shooting continuously, but I'm also not turning the camera off all the time. A lot of times I'm letting it go into hibernation. Because it's running background processes, it is using a little bit of the battery, but realistically, like, you know, I've had the camera out now without turning it off. I'm 3.5 hours into my run and it's doing awesome. I didn't even have it charged all the way. GoPro battery life on a single battery is, at best, you're gonna be lucky if you get 2 hours. Now batteries are small, you can swap them out, but guess what? You can swap them out with the Insta360 as well. So that's a big notch for Insta360 ONE R. Oh, size comparison. They're both very similar in size. However, when you put the Insta360 in a case to attach it to any accessories, and it is compatible with all of the GoPro accessories as well, it's a little larger. That wind's no bueno. Let's pause until I can get out of it. As you can see, I am no longer in the San Juan Mountains of Colorado. I'm back here in the Wasatch, close to home, hiking a local peak, Sunset Peak, one of my favorites. I want to really focus the second half of this video in just a couple of areas. One, I want to finish off talking about the 4K to 4K comparison, specifically around image quality of the Insta360 ONE R and the GoPro Hero8. And then I want to kind of shift and talk about user experience and specifically why having that 360 mod is so valuable as an action camera, specifically for somebody like me who's a trail runner and an adventurous. So we're gonna I'll focus on that. The other thing you're gonna notice, I'm not talking and hiking up the mountain anymore. So more heavy breathing and hopefully no more crazy wind. All right, so let's jump into image quality. I'm gonna show you a couple side-by-sides running down. 4K to 4K, I really feel like both of these cameras are very similar. There may be a little bit of an edge to the GoPro Hero8. However, a lot of that has to do on how you extract the files. If you actually pull the SD card out of each of these and plug them straight into your computer and pull the 4K files off, image quality is going to be almost identical. Okay, I'm inserting myself real quick here because one of the great things about Insta360 ONE R is you can actually choose with the 4K mod what settings you want it to download in. So it doesn't have to compress. You can download it straight to your phone over Wi-Fi in 4K. You can choose the bit rate, choose the quality, whether you want the color enhancement on or not. So keep that in mind, that as if you're going to be downloading directly to your phone and editing on your phone, be mindful of how you want it downloaded so that when you extract the files that are edited into some type of theme, you actually have the quality of video that you want. Because if you're shooting the whole thing in 4K, then that's exactly how you want it to be downloaded. All right, so let's talk about user experience. So just a couple of things with the user experience. First and foremost, working the cameras are pretty similar. They both have a touchscreen display. Both work, I think, equally as well. You can manipulate between different modes as well as change settings directly on the camera. They also both link with a really good app on your phone, and you can Wi-Fi connect to that app and you can manipulate settings and change settings and use it as a remote. Both work fine as well. Where Insta360 ONE R has the biggest advantage is there's so much more you can do with the app when it comes to actually creating stories, manipulating video, and I would even go as far as to say I think Insta360 does a little bit better with some of the image quality editing. GoPro's is pretty good, I'll give them that. However, I did find the user experience to be lacking a little bit, and I tended to just extract the files and do it on my laptop. So knowing that, let's jump into why shooting in 360 is really the best way to go, and what the advantage of having the 360 mod and the 4K mod working together gives you with the ONE R. And I'm gonna do that right up there on that mountain. All right, what I really want to talk about is why the modular aspect and what the benefits are of going with the 360 mod over the 4K mod or something like a GoPro Hero8 where you're fixed into that. So many times you're doing cool stuff, especially here in the mountains or out in the desert, and you need that perfect shot. But even at a super wide angle, something like this 4K mod or the GoPro Hero8, it's missing a key aspect of it. And having the 360 where it's filming everything all at once gives you that ability to select the exact shot that you want. I think that's what's so amazing about it. And if you're kind of wondering, like, take a look at this clip shot with the GoPro Hero8 on a ridge that I'm absolutely passionate about, and I did this cool jump over this gap only to find out that it missed any of the cool aspects of it. It was just looked like I was jumping from rock to rock. So being able to do it in 360 changes everything, because now you can get that aspect where it's like, wow, that was really kind of sketchy, or it was cool, or whatever it might be. So to kind of give you a better look at it, here's some of the benefits of shooting in 360. Final thoughts. I've been shooting with this camera for about a month now. Keep in mind, I came from shooting in 360 with the Rylo, and I really liked it. GoPro's great. I have no argument against what they're doing. I'm sure the Max is good if you want to spend that extra money. But if you want to have a camera that, in my opinion, can do all of it, it really is the Insta360 ONE R. I am more excited about this camera and what it can do, both the 4K mod and the 360 mod, and then add on top of that all the fun features that you can do with something like the Shot Lab in the app, and it just is going to up my video game so much more than it ever has been. I'm so excited about it. They're not paying me to do this review. This is legitimately my response to using a camera that I'm passionate about. So go check them out. Links in the description. You'll see it tagged on everything I'm doing going forward, because you'll see that this is simply the camera that I'm going to be using going forward. I'm excited about it. Thanks.